Give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
To the the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boost every single day. Okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
Move the mic.
Oh, I got me too! Oh my God, that's a lot of water.
It's on my ass.
The whole couch is ruined. You're going to be sitting in it, Blais. Okay. Okay.
This was not necessary.
How did he get knocked
Can you
over?
put DJ
What
back
happened
up there?
to DJ?
I took him out with my head.
Avs win over the Winnipeg Jets 6-3.
I need an adult.
You're in the wrong company, man.
In what was a hockey game, for sure. I'm having a little bit of a brain freeze right now. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Second 2/3 of the hockey game, extremely good. First third of the hockey game,
even first third of the hockey game,
it really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad.
The only guy
agree.
who didn't show up was Pavel Francouz.
Yeah.
Spotting them 3.
Yeah. And like one of those, the tip goal you're fine with. Like the second goal, you're like, look, it is what it is. But goals 1 and 3, you're like, bro, whoa, where the fuck are you? What are you doing?
It's the third one, I think, especially is the one where
you need in a real game against a team that isn't horseshit. You need a
where
save.
you don't just break their spirits in the second period.
Well, and this was a great example of like what we've talked about in the Avs when they get down. Like they like to be choked a little, right? They want to be challenged, and they're trying to find something that keeps them intrigued and interested in games. Well, they got choked a little, and then
they got choked a lot. The third goal was too much choking.
Straight up choked out the Jets in response. And you're like, whoa, there's supposed to be some give and take here, and you just murdered them. So that's done.
There is police are being called at this point, I'm pretty sure.
There was no safe word. Once it got to 3-0, it was like safe words are gone. There was no Martha, and it was another blowout. Like they just like once they scored that second goal, it was like
you knew
because they were just dominating.
The second period was not a hockey game. It was an Avs like shoot around, basically.
Right. Like it just was not a close or competitive hockey game, and really ever. Like it gets to 3-0, and you're like, oh, in the NHL, this should be a cruise control to victory. And instead, the Jets were like, guess what? We're actually real bad.
Yeah. Well, RK was up here after the second goal going, put money on the game. Put money on the Avs.
I went to the bathroom. He was like, I got him at plus 285 when they were down 3. Unreal. I do want to talk about the first period on the whole, but let's get a 60-second rundown of the game before we do.
I mean, 60-second rundown. The Jets get up 3-0 in the first period. They don't play the Avs don't play very well. Pavel Francouz really doesn't play well. And then Colorado dominates for the next 40 minutes.
Yep.
The Avs get out. You know, Gabe Landeskog has a hat trick. Nathan MacKinnon comes literally within inches of also a hat trick. And Andrei Burakovsky plays the best that we've seen him in 2 months.
Yep.
And the Avs blow out the Jets again, and it's 6-3. It could have been 10-3. And you kind of feel bad for Connor Hellebuck because he gets 6 dropped on him in a game where he played pretty well.
Well, after that first period, too, you could have played 6 players for the Avs because the puck was down in the Jets zone the whole time. It was
like the shots on goal were wildly deceiving because Winnipeg got the puck and rolled into the zone, got a couple of shots, went in, then they go back and they face it off, and then it spends the entire time with the Avs
Their
trying to
first
score.
2 offensive zone possessions resulted in goals.
Yeah, right.
Like, genuinely.
And 3 of those, they had 3 shots on goal in the first one.
Yeah, in a matter of 3
Yeah,
seconds.
where Frankie was like, it was like whack-a-mole, where he was like, try again, and try again. Oh, I can't stop them all.
It's always weird.
Where are you guys? And they're like, are
Those-
you serious with these rebounds?
Look, the new pads look great, but they can't be pinball bumpers.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
I mean, subjective looks great.
Yeah, Blais doesn't like them,
I don't.
so
Yeah.
Bad
You can't-
take city over here.
yeah.
Horrible take city over here.
reset the counter of days without a horrible take on our show back to 0.
It was still at 0, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yesterday was prospect
every
show,
day.
okay? We'd at least made it one day.
I don't know. I'm sure we missed some important prospect to someone.
True. Yeah, Tyler Weiss' family is really mad. Yeah. Or somebody. I don't want to actually like call
When
them
they
out.
sign Zaravyov this offseason, we'll be like, all right. Anyway, not for tonight. For tonight, if you don't look at the scoreboard, it never felt like the Avs weren't in control. Which obviously the scoreboard matters. But
It does matter. Yeah.
when it comes to puck possession, even the first period, it was like, this team is banging on all cylinders, right?
Well, you could just see they were engaged. They were flying around the ice, and it wasn't just like Nathan MacKinnon, right? It was your JT Compher's up and down the ice.
Yeah, they were going.
You know, but Burakovsky was moving around. Landeskog looked like he was rocking and
Got
rolling. Like,
great A chances from
they
Logan
looked
O'Connor.
Good.
Like,
They
yeah.
looked like they were outside of, I guess, a defensive lapse here or there, because it wasn't like the defense was perfect.
It's their
But
usual
also,
problems. They failed
you
to clear
pay
a puck.
goalie
Yep.
for a reason, and him just firing off the second
I-
and third chances to dudes.
I do want to give
Bad.
Frankie a little bit
Bad.
credit. He figured it out in the second and third period.
Dude, after the first period, I have no issues.
Yeah.
He looked like he calmed down. You're asking him to make the first save a lot of the time, and his rebound control has always been one of those things.
it's something that most backups, you just play around that. Like,
Yeah, and he's, but him, like, literally, it was just him literally kicking pucks to dudes where I'm like, bro.
the one
then
that shoots
the
right up
rebound
the
control.
slot is
Yeah.
where you're like, maybe not that one.
And then like gets beat short. Like that's
the
his,
short side one hurt.
Like
it hurt.
That's your glove, man. Like you need to be sassy with that thing.
Yep.
You need to be a little sassy with it, and instead, like Adam Lowry just embarrasses him with like a shot that's not world class.
It's good, but not great.
right? Like it's fine, but that should be stopped with no screen and as far out as it was. And knowing that that's not, like, that's Adam Lowry there. That's not a world-class wrister that you're facing.
Yeah.
So I just, like, that sucked. And then he didn't allow a goal the rest of the night.
Yep.
He did
figured it
exactly,
out.
like, the one thing when they got up 4-3 is how's Frankie look?
Yep.
And he didn't look shaky. He didn't look bad. He looked like he was fine. He was rocking and rolling, and it was like, okay. And this has kind of been his thing in his career is that his bad games, the Avs will outscore.
They just drop a bomb on
They
people.
outscore the
Yeah.
Frankie problems, and he gets through a bad stat night.
Yep.
Well, how many teams are
And
really
it's
going
fine.
to come back from that, right? Like, how many
Totally.
teams have that offensive firepower to come back?
But
from
you
a
go
deficit like that?
and look at Francouz's entire career, and his goal support has always
6,
been
7, 6,
Yeah,
6.
yeah.
exceptional.
It's a lot of goals.
Yeah.
It really
That's
is.
the stats.
Yeah,
For sure.
and look, like again, against a good hockey team, down 3-0, you should lose.
Yeah.
But they were down 3-0. They were still outplaying the Jets, and they just never let up.
Yep.
They got up 4-3. They got up 5-3, and then they were like, you know, we haven't globetrotted in a while. Let's just see how many we can score.
Yep.
Let's play some and one hockey.
Yeah, right. Like they were like, oh, mixtape.
Well, and I think the big key for tonight on the whole, for a while now, we've been seeing the Avs top line play well, do good things. They get a goal here, they get a goal there.
Yeah.
Tonight they hit the ceiling.
Well,
Tonight they
and
popped it all the way off.
Different line combinations,
Yeah.
and sometimes like Colorado's top line when it's put together and it's rolling, you're just like, oh my god, why would you ever mess
Yeah.
with us? Every once in a while, you kind of need just a little bit of something different to get you going again. And Jared Bednar found that tonight.
Yep.
Got Burakovsky going. MacKinnon gets a couple of goals. Rantanen finishes with 3 assists. You get a hat trick out of Landeskog. Like Nichushkin, catch. Everybody has a multi-point night. It's just raining free shit on the Avs tonight because the Jets are. I'm watching in the third period and I'm like,
Team's a bit of a
this
disaster.
was 3-3 walking into this period. it had been a nightmare, and mentally, that's where you need to reset.
Yep.
The Avs didn't reset. They were just like, we're going to bury these guys. And they did. And the Jets were just like, yeah, bury me, daddy. And that was it.
Bednar walks into the locker room, sexual chocolate.
Like, there's no, how is it that a team that desperately needs points, there was no meaningful pushback.
Yeah.
They, Rantanen's even like, here, have a power play, and let's see how this goes. Darren Helm gets a scoring chance.
A good one, too.
Yeah, and
more
you're,
than one,
and
yeah.
it's just like, dude, how bad are these guys?
And
They're lifeless.
it's
I don't know what else to say. Like, they're
it's reflected in the
lifeless.
standings
It's
as well, right?
It's a funny game because people aren't going to remember it this way because of the score in the first period. But you look at the Avs play in this game and you're going, this is a pretty damn good full 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely,
Yeah.
they were gunning the whole game.
Yeah.
So I really, you can probably nitpick a couple of the goals where you're saying a little bit of the defensive puck management cropped up again. You'd like to see a couple pucks get out better. But the final shots were like 43-27 or something ridiculous.
Don't
Yeah.
remind me.
One short, Blais.
Well, more than one short.
Needed
'cause
the
There were
saves.
goals. There
Yeah,
were
he
goals in
needed
there.
saves.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
Like, your biggest takeaway from tonight is way too casual with the puck on the power play.
For sure.
Your power play remains not good. It's had a bad February. Its bad February continued. Gave up the shorthanded goal.
Yep.
As much as I may not like it from Frankie, your best
How are
hope
you
on that,
in that situation
cannot
in the
be
first
Sam
place?
Girard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Skating like a madman, like he's Benjamin Watson running down Champ Bailey. Like, it can't be all the
What
way
a
across ice.
specific call
Landeskog
up.
scored basically off the power play, right? It was like,
Right,
Right
and
after
that
it.
goal is like, he just, I still don't understand how it goes in because it's sealed.
yeah.
Look,
Bible.
when you're that attractive, you're
She
allowed
didn't
to
understand either.
You're allowed to teleport pucks when you're that attractive every once in a while, okay? The goalie gets lost in your eyes and you don't know what happens. It's
That's what happened. That's definitely what happened.
pretty much, all right? I can't even blame Hellebuck for it, to be honest. And this is... You dry yet?
No.
Me either.
Yeah. Well, you asked for it.
I was going to take AJ's seat, but he beat me to it, so...
Could have just said, hey, and I
No,
would have been like,
no, we were committed at that point.
all right. I mean, I'm way happier to watch you two just suffer.
But really, you can't put into words how good the Avs top line is when they play like this. They scored 5 goals tonight.
Yeah, well, and again, they weren't together.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
And so when you're top, but when that's what makes it such a problem.
those are your best
made
players,
one
is how
change.
I should put it.
Yeah.
Like,
They make one change, Burakovsky for Landeskog.
yep.
And
both lines popped the
it
F
was
off.
just like
Yeah.
all of the offensive potential from both lines unlocked.
Yeah.
And they just buried an NHL team with an elite goaltender.
And think about that going into the playoffs as well, right? Like, if you're having issues with another team, with the matchup,
yeah.
and you can just go in and go, okay, well, remember what we did against the Jets. Let's just switch this up here and see if we can create something.
Well, and theoretically, Landeskog, Kadri, and Nichushkin, it's your ultimate, like, hard hat line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, physically, defensively. It's just such a trio from hell. to
You
play
go get a
against.
puck in your own zone and you're bracing every time against that.
Yeah, like it's the bruised egos,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
that's all it ends up being. It's just bumps and bruises all night. So you love that combination, and then Burakovsky, like, look, when those other two guys are rocking and rolling and they're clicking, like they do things at such a high level, and Burakovsky has that in the bag. He can play that kind of creative, free-flowing offensive hockey, and he's got the playmaking and the shooting ability to do whatever he wants. He fits in with those guys when he's playing well.
Well, and
Yeah.
When
Well,
he's
think
not,
of-
you're like, holy crap, dude.
The other thing there as well is think about the focus that has to be put on those other two players. So
Yeah,
that
no
frees
kidding.
Berkey up to
he's
do what he
kind of
needs to
third
do.
banana with Landy
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And I think particularly the way Berkey scored tonight, I know we're going a little out of order here, but that's fine. That's a shot that just beats a goaltender.
Yeah. And we've seen, like, he's beaten some goalies.
Yep. It just not going in.
It just
for him,
hasn't.
yeah.
It has not gone his way. You know, he misses an inch wide.
Yeah.
He clips a post or whatever. You know, he'd been so snake bit for a while now that he just beats Hellebuck there.
Yep.
If you're looking for a save from Winnipeg, you're like, that's probably the goal. We are like, bro, we're paying you to bail us out in that spot. We need you one-on-one, no screen, in transition. We need you to help us right
That
here.
one, maybe the Landy hat trick one of those two.
Yeah, and that's one where, like, when you're getting into the 5-3, 6-3 goals, you're like,
Game was over already.
Things have gotten so out of hand, and the ice is so tilted that you're just like,
You got to feel
like,
good for Berkey, though.
for Hellebuck, like, you want the first goal. I don't understand how it goes in, and then the Burakovsky goal are the ones where you're like, you gotta have those if you're the Jets. You just cannot give up anything remotely soft. And for Burakovsky, you have to feel great for him. He'd been picking up assists. He picked up an assist the other day. He picks up an assist early in this game. And then it was like, here they go.
Like 13 games or something since his last goal,
It had been
right?
17 games since his last
that's
goal.
That's a long time.
And it's a game-winning goal. A very meaningful goal.
Ends up as a game-winning goal. Not a cheap game-winning goal.
Yep.
It's the actual...
Tied in the third period.
It's like, and I would say he was our king of the game. Kind of.
You really gave it to Berkey?
No.
Not actually.
No.
But
that was a graphic that was there.
It was halfway when he scored the goal. We made that.
I see.
And then the real king of the game obviously goes to Gabe Landeskog.
Yes, of course.
Because when he gets the hat trick, I gave the I'm sorry puppy dog eyes to Yahir and was like, what can I do? He scored a hat trick.
It's a very large crown.
That is a big one. That crown actually looks like it's on his head correctly. Like you got it low enough. It's not like sitting on the top of his head. Like a little baby crown. Look, what
Nothing baby about that crown or that dude.
No, that's a real man right there.
That was daddy mode.
Oh, Daddy Landy.
Yeah.
All the hats
Daddy
are
wasn't
belong to
lying
him.
tonight.
Yeah.
Wasn't lying to anybody.
How weird is it? 2 hat tricks, both against the Jets this year.
Yeah.
Oh, this other one was too?
5 hat tricks in
That's
his
his
career,
team?
by the
Yeah,
way?
he has 5 career hat tricks.
That's wild.
Yeah. What?
It didn't take a falling over tip in this time either. So
No, that was my favorite of his hat tricks.
it was a fun one for sure. But the Oats defeated the Golden Knights. Let's go!
Wow.
Thank you, PHNX.
Yeah, well, they just got last place back.
Yo, Petey should have to pour water on his head too tonight. All right, I need some solidarity here.
Those dudes should have to do
I
it
don't
after
think
every
Petey's going to be
win.
pouring water on
Agreed.
his head.
Can we drink these?
yeah, let's
go.
do our winner shots here.
Why don't you guys take those fucking shots?
Because I
Well,
was getting
geez,
water
calm down.
dumped on my head.
Yeah, why doesn't the peanut gallery chill the fuck out?
All
right.
Blaze's eyes tell me he really needs a shot.
Yes.
To Dr. D.U.B. M.D.
Yeah, word.
What's up?
How are you, my guy?
Let's go. Let's go, chat. All right. If you're looking for some alcohol for yourself, highly recommend the Ranch Riders. Had some of them up here tonight. They're basically either tequila or vodka, depending on what you prefer, mixed with seltzer, and they taste delicious. It's like drinking candy. I don't know how they do it.
Wow, you've sold me. Can I get one?
Yeah, they're literally right in that fridge over there.
All right, who's going to get me one?
No one's going to get you anything. We don't have servers here. Why? Why?
Because
I
you
was-
can't go anywhere and do anything about it.
I was just starting to warm up again. And now I'm cold again.
None of it hit me, so I'm fine.
Ugh.
Wow.
Okay.
Gosh.
Ranch Riders. They're really good. They started in a food truck in Texas. That's how you know they're good. Food truck stuff is just better. Anyone who disagrees with that is worse than my food take of mayo on burritos. I think we can agree on that.
The weirdest take.
Ranch Riders is a top 10 selling alcohol in the country, so you know it's good. What?
They're that good.
The peanut gallery drank them all, so that's literally how good they are.
Get anything. I didn't get
Go check them out, and then go follow Blais because he's going to make you $1 billion on DraftKings Sportsbook every single
Yeah, it's
night.
yacht time.
The yacht fund is looking good, all right? We're down to the $2 million yacht. We've only got $1,999,800 to go.
Yep.
We're basically there.
Right now we're at a.
We had a big week, okay? We cut $18 million off the price this week. All right, we got a lot closer this week.
Right now we're on a pontoon boat. Right now.
Right now we're trying to get
I think
blueprints for a pontoon boat.
We're on a log at this point, I think. But go over to DraftKings, use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account. If you bet $1 as a new account on any NBA game, you pick the right team to win, you get $150 in free bets. Follow the Blais way, take all of that and bet it on McCarr to win the Norris, and you will be a rich human being.
Multiple times, yes.
That simple. It really is that simple this year. I'm going to lose my voice. DraftKings is dope. It's super fun, especially in a game like this. Shout out to RK, who took the Avs at plus 285 when they were down 3. When you know, I guess, because that's how you make money.
Yeah, I mean, the Avs are a top 3 team now in comeback wins this year.
Yep.
And I mean, anytime I know I've been like, oh, the Jets are bad and they're not any good or whatever, but like, it's an AHL team. Anytime you're down 3 to an NHL
You
team,
should lose.
It's a lot of work to come back. And you look at it and like it got a little out of hand at the end there, but look at the level of dominance it took just to get them to the 4-3.
Yep. It's all right. Well, first of all, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use that DNVR code to sign up with a new account. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right. Second period, where I hopefully will not get any more water poured on me. Let's talk about the Gabe Landeskog goals. He scores one where he teleports a puck through a human being. He scored.
I mean, there's no room for him to stuff that under Hellebuck, and it cleanly gets through.
Yep.
It didn't like dribble in. It like, you watch the replay and you see that thing just slides right on.
Yep.
Okay, great. That's how it's supposed to go, I guess.
Scores one that's a not a tip in, but a classic redirect type goal.
Yeah.
It's a
He's
great
good
tip.
at that.
It's a
Yeah.
great tip, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just right up over the shoulder where Hellebuck is like,
No, and the thing like goes corner in.
yeah, like,
What do you do against
yeah,
that?
there's
I
anything you
genuinely
ask the
don't
goaltender
know.
to do there.
Yeah. And then the third one, he gets it walking in, kind of left alone in the slot. And,
In transition, he
yeah.
puts it in a great spot because you've got a goaltender's got to he's got to cover the bases when he's moving like that. And that 7 hole right there, that's a tough one.
Yep.
Because he's trying to get across, and it's hard to intentionally cover that area. It's just well placed. He just hadn't. I mean, there's just only so much of Connor Hellebuck to be in front of the net.
He's on pace. Can Landy hit 40?
He definitely can, yeah. And I mean, you're looking at him right now. Of the guys who are scoring goals on the top line, he's pretty consistent.
Yep.
Like, I have him on my fantasy team, so
So you're happy.
I'm just watching these numbers just tick up, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take a hat
And
trick
then
every week, bro.
And you watch it even back out as Hellebuck was your goalie tonight. But
Yeah. I did not check to see if I started him because I've started pulling goalies out of the lineup if I'm leading.
Gotcha.
Because I'm like, I
You
don't
want to
need-
hurt yourself.
I don't
Yeah.
need the points, and the negative ones are making these things more competitive than they are. I probably didn't do that tonight because I really only check my lineup once a week. But
You're also a little busy these days. So.
yeah, I've been well today especially,
Yeah.
man, with us being here all day.
We've
so.
been here for a minute.
Yeah, it's
It's like 10. Yeah, it's 10.
yeah. So we've been here for 9 hours.
Yep. A lot of good content coming up, by the way.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Hint.
What? That end of sentence?
Yeah.
Hint? Okay. The snake exclamation mark. Bring! Pops up over your head. All right. We were
Katie would know. I'm playing her in fantasy. So.
we were
You did.
dangerously close to seeing the double hat trick tonight.
That would have been.
Very.
I mean, I assumed that's why you got the second glass. Was
Yeah,
because
I'm
it was close enough to
accepting
MacKinnon that everybody was like, "We don't get to do this very often." YOLO.
Send it.
Yeah.
For sure. But, and what do you guys think about, because MacKinnon wanted it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
MacKinnon wanted it at the end of
Well,
that third
especially after
period.
Morrissey slashed him.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You dickbag. This game is decided. It is 6-3 with 5 minutes to play in the third. If you hurt my hand," he's looking at Josh Morrissey like, "I have a Conn Smythe to win. If you stop me from doing that because you're taking cheap whacks at my hands in decided games, I will murder you." Nate MacKinnon, with the Patrick stuff and the linesman,
Yep.
all maybe a little too tightly wound for 50 games into the season.
Yeah.
He's not calm.
Needs to maybe whoa.
He needs a spa day for sure.
Especially because it's not like things are going poorly for him or the team. It's a lot. It's a lot from him right now. And when he has a dominant night like tonight, and he scores a couple of goals, and he's really kind of their emotional center because his anger was their anger, his drive was their drive.
Yep.
And when that happens, it's a good thing. It's symbiotic. But there are times we've seen it, the Nolan Patrick hit and whatever that was with the linesman where it was just dumb and unnecessary, where you're like, okay, maybe some of the pouty, angry man-child stuff is not so charming all the time.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a hard balance, right? Because you do want that on your team. You want that passion there because that's one of those things that drives a team, like you're saying. The whole team can feed off of that, but it's so easily swayed towards the negative when the head cocks back, getting off prematurely because you're upset with your play, right?
Well, and he stops striding 12 feet from the bench, and you're like, you want to know why you have too many men on the ice penalties, bro? Because somebody's getting off like this. Phrasing, but it is what it is.
So, just for the record, the Winnipeg Jets had 29 shots in the night. Nathan MacKinnon and Gabe Landeskog combined for 21.
Wow.
I thought MacKinnon had
14 for MacKinnon. 7 for Landeskog. And that does not include the post that MacKinnon hit.
Yeah.
So,
That is
Alrighty.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
let me actually look here, because if I remember correctly, at one point, so in the second and third periods, the Jets had 17 shots. So Nathan MacKinnon almost single-handedly outshot the Jets in the second and third periods of this hockey game.
That felt about right, too. And I will say, we're talking about Mac and all that, but I really liked the defensive clampdown.
Yeah.
Because things were a little loose to start the game.
Definitely.
I still don't think they were you're down 3-0 level of loose, but a little loose. Yeah. And then it felt like after that, they were never in danger again. Anecdotally, obviously, I'm going to go look at the numbers. They will have given up scoring chances. They will have given up high danger chances and things like that. But anecdotally, you just never felt like they threatened to go from 3-4 until the Avs had already made a game of it.
Right.
And then when they got to 4-3, you were really just waiting for it. Is this going to be 5-3?
They put the hammer down for sure.
Yeah. And is it going to be on Hellebuck, or is it going to be an empty net?
Yep.
Because it never felt like they got close in the third period to legitimately pushing back. Their power play was bad.
It was.
It didn't generate anything.
And I would say, ignoring the nonsense at the end of the game, which we'll get to in a little bit, do you want maybe a little bit more danger from the Avs power play tonight? Yes, but ultimately,
you want that unit to be better. But when you score 6 without it being high end,
right?
Girl, please.
Hard to complain there. And their penalty kill looked good. So, what are you going to say against a hockey team like this? I genuinely don't know. So, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps us a ton here on YouTube if y'all do that. So, jump on that and then go grab yourself a Breck Brew. Unfortunately, the Avs waited to the second period for them to start scoring, so you don't get a free one tonight. But if you keep your
They
receipt...
spent the first period watching Frankie drink all the Breck brews.
True.
Got mad.
True.
And said, all right, we're going to take care of business, and then we're going to make him buy Breck brew all night.
If it works, it works.
That's how it
All right?
works.
So, go get yours. Absolutely delicious stuff. You can find it at your local liquor store anywhere in the lower 48. So jump on that. I recommend the Avalanche, but they genuinely have like dozens of beers. So you can find something good no matter what you like. Hit them up. Go get them. Then, if you're looking for free entertainment in Denver, go check out the American Raptors. They play over at Infinity Park in Glendale. They went 5-5 last year as a team that's an experiment to take other professional athletes from other sports, bring them into rugby, and see how far they can get. We have Colton Strickler struggling a little bit tonight.
Wonder why.
Oh, come on.
Because you've had water dumped on your head twice. And
Not helping. It's not helping.
I mean, I'm kind of chilly sitting over here just looking at you.
I feel cold. I don't...
My soul.
It's not my favorite feeling. Colton Strickler, our DNVR Rugby beat. Make sure to go follow DNVR Rugby. He's got 101 pods if you're brand new. If you're not brand new, he talks to actually every human being in the rugby sphere. I don't think there's like a single important person that he doesn't get an interview with if he wants one.
It's pretty.
So
it's pretty enviable access.
Yeah.
So it's just the sport and its hierarchy.
and the men's and women's 15 teams do play here at Infinity Park, so it's literally Rugby Town, USA. It's the best rugby you can get. Go check it out. Completely free to go to a game at Infinity Park, which is the dope venue. If you've never been, you got to check it out just for a day on the town or something like that. It's super cool. Highly recommend you go over there and get your butts into those seats. Also, great time to get a DNVR Avalanche membership. We've had a bunch of content this week that's been popping off.
Last couple of weeks, a lot of written stuff on the site as
Yep.
we've really amped up that side of it.
Yep.
While all the video continues to be the video content. So
We got you covered from all sides over here.
yeah.
Written,
now,
audio,
now all we
video.
have to do is just work on the design side of things, Blais.
I mean, I'm doing my best here, guys.
That Kadri shirt
Yeah,
is
where's
they're
our-
waiting on it.
There's a
All right.
Kadri shirt.
They're waiting on it. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I did want to get your guys' take on this. I know, AJ, you were pretty fired up. The nonsense at the end of this hockey game. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that a guy like Dubois is like running around and is pissed off and is embarrassed, and this is how he should like.
That's some skill on skill there.
Well, and you want if you're getting run like this and you're embarrassed again in this building for the second time in this building this year, you've been embarrassed, and you're desperate for points, and you're scratching and clawing and doing everything you can to stay relevant in a playoff race that is rapidly slipping away from you. You just feel like these nights have stacked up too much.
For sure.
And it comes out in a negative way from Dubois at the end. From his perspective, and from the Jets' perspective, you like that he cares, right? You'd probably want to see him show that he cares a little more during the game's competitive phase.
When it's 3-2 and you need
like,
to pick me up, yeah.
I will say he has been. I thought he was a big reason why that 3-0 lead was even
Where it
possible.
was, yeah.
He was on fire early at the start of the game. He was, I thought, the best Jets player on the ice in the first period, and I think he ended up with 2 assists to go with it. And I was like, this is the freight train of a player that Columbus really didn't want to give up.
Yeah.
And then just sort of went cold after that, and then waited until it wasn't like a strategic waiting of like, it's 5-3.
It's just how the game played out.
It's my moment.
Yeah.
It is just sort of, it was just that time, and it was that place, and it was that opportunity. And if you're in Colorado shoes, you're like, this is why we stopped blowing teams out. Like, the teams get embarrassed, and they, I mean, it's not why they stopped blowing teams out. They were due for some
Because it's just not possible to
hockey
do that
games,
every night.
In the
Yeah.
NHL,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it is like you don't love that they're running at you and at the end of the game, and because you're now getting to the point where we're getting to the portion of the season where a real injury
could be a
starts
problem.
creeping into the
Yeah.
postseason.
Yep.
Timelines and recoveries and things like that. You're no longer like, we got 4 months, you know? You're talking about you've got like 8 weeks to go here for 8-9 weeks until it's postseason time. And I don't, you worry about it. You worry about the fact that you're 12 points up on the next closest team. They ended up, I did bring this up recently. I saw a couple people tweeted at me. They did hit 80 before anybody else in the West hit 70.
Yep.
I said that I thought they had a chance to do that this week. They got it done. They've got a 12-point lead on St. Louis right now. And like somehow they've ended up with the most games played, so teams have games in hand on Colorado. But that's still a huge lead.
Yeah. It's massive.
That's a huge lead. That's a 6-game advantage that they would have on a team right now. And so you do worry, like, hey, as they slip into a portion of the season where maybe they aren't going to be going 100% all the time, and they're not, you know, they're having some more kind of
Load management going on a little bit. Yeah.
Well, a little senioritis kicks in.
Yeah.
You know, some complacency is going to set in and things because they are human. Their challenge is avoiding that, but it's also not overreacting to the dumb that it's going to bring on in games, like with Dubois tonight. I thought it was handled. They defended themselves, but they didn't go overboard. They didn't freak out. They didn't try and send any messages. There was no nonsense. They were like, we've got the 2 points in the bag. Let's just get out of here healthy.
Yep. You just said no nonsense, and it was up on the screen as well.
Wow.
Yeah. The other thing from Dubois is...
It's my night, man.
Yeah, I know. That's not even a thing that's really directed at the Avs, right? That's internal frustration.
Sure.
That's frustration with himself, probably with the team itself playing, you know, like what you were just talking about, where it's like, guys, we still have a chance here. There's still games left where we can make this ground up, and we came out and just laid a turd on the ice, right?
Well, it feels that much worse because they're saying they should have won that game, right?
Well, and they throw away to watch a 3-0 lead after you're out. It's 3-0. You're vibing after one. You're like, all we have to do is just not royally screw this up. We've got 2 points in the hardest place to win in the league in Colorado, and you're feeling great. That's a launch point to feeling good and proof of concept, and we can hang and we can do this and we can do that, and all right, here we go. And instead, it's the exact opposite. This is the kind of thing where you look at it and you're like, this could break a team.
Yeah. It's not even just they were up 3-0. It's at 3-1, at 3-2, even at 3-3. They couldn't find a way to stem the bleeding. It just kept getting pounded.
Even at 4-3, there was nothing. They have a power play in the third period to push back, and they don't do anything with it. They watched Darren Helm get the best scoring chance of the power play.
Yep, genuinely. And
it's just like, at that point, you're just like...
Another conversation here. I don't want to beat this dead horse too much, and a lot of this is because of the situation of the game. The Avs were down 3 goals after the first. You get less than 5 minutes out of Curtis McDermott tonight, and he goes -2.
Yeah. Well, and 2 of those shifts are in the third period after the game.
The game is decided.
You have a lead.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel good as a player when you're not being trusted by the coaching staff to be out there in even a tight game, right? Like, once you caught up and it's a tied game, and you're not even seeing the ice.
He had 3 minutes of ice time before the Avs had a lead or something like that?
He had 3:13 going into the final couple minutes when I saw him on the ice, and I was like, this is only the third time I've seen him out there. Is this his third shift? And so I went and looked it up. He'd been out there. He at the time I went and looked, 3:13, and he was a -2. And it's not, look, it's Frankie.
Totally.
My voice cracks,
not blaming McDermott there.
No.
But it's like, this is...
You can't keep running a dude 3 minutes in an important situation.
And Darren Helm played 6 minutes.
And that's super low, too.
And you're talking about a guy that plays on your penalty kill.
Yeah.
His even strength TOI is like nothing.
You just removed a fourth line from that game. And some of that is you're coming back. You're down 3-0.
Totally.
You're cutting these guys out who are like, look, no offense, fellas, I'm not relying on offense from the 2 of you.
Yeah.
But you can't. This like non-existent fourth line cannot continue.
Well, you can't do that, especially when you're playing in a back-to-back, right? Like the load management
Yeah.
there of just overworking those
Absolutely.
top three lines. Like, cool, you got back into the game, you won it. But if you're not load management, like what happens tomorrow night? Is there going to be a fallout tomorrow because of it?
Thankfully, they won this game, so tomorrow night is kind of a whatever happens,
Sure, but
happens.
yeah.
But I agree with you, and I think it ties into what AJ was saying earlier. You are going to get your players hurt. If you're playing them that much in this stretch of the season, somebody is going to get hurt. And some of
how
that
the game works.
Yeah, some of that is up to bad luck, sure.
Like Mikko Rantanen can avoid all contact for 2 months, and
then someone takes a
break-
two-hander
well,
to him,
and he breaks his toe getting out of the shower.
Yeah,
Some
right.
bullshit, right? Like
He was in some shit tonight in front of the net there. I don't know who that was with.
things got
a
feisty a
little
little
spicy.
bit with Josh Morrissey.
That's who it was, yeah.
A couple
After
of
the
there
hack,
were a couple of occasions where John and again, like you love the leadership from the Jets' perspective. You love that Josh Morrissey is still engaged. He's still working. He's still caring. He's going at Colorado's top players. Like, get away from my guy here.
Yeah.
Defending that territory. You know, like you like that he's engaged in that. You don't necessarily like the way that it manifests, but you like that he's not just like, oh, you're standing in front of my net, whacking my goalie. That's cool. It's cool. Just take it, man. It's whatever. Those are his hands, not mine, you know? LOL.
In the immortal words of Snoop Dogg, the Avs did drop it like it's hot tonight. Let's get to the Super Chats before we get out of here.
Whoa.
$20 from Zach. Extremely generous. Thank you very much. Hype City fam. Love y'all.
Hell yeah.
Much
Yeah.
appreciated, my sir.
I mean, watching this, how could you not be
Oh,
hyped
my,
watching
no
this game?
kidding. Yeah. And I loved the vibes of this game. Obviously, the first period sucked. You didn't love being down 3-0
But
for the
you
Avs.
were
but
watching them outplay them,
Yeah.
where you're just like, if two of their three offensive shifts, first three offensive shifts, don't end up in goals.
And then you're watching the second period. The first one goes in, and you're like, all right, the Avs aren't going away.
Yeah.
The second one goes in, and you're like, here we fucking go.
Once they got to the second one, you were like, all right, this is not going to be one of those games where they go quietly and have a good night. We about to see the rage.
Yeah. The Jets were the machine in this case. $10.
Going more for Dylan Thomas, but Rage
Well.
Against the Machine is also fine.
Fine. $10 from Darren, much appreciated. Hello from Canada, donating for all the entertainment you have given me over the years. Do not poke the sleeping giant. Yeah, the Avs, don't make them angry, I guess. They hulked out a little bit tonight, for sure. Thank you very much, Darren. Much appreciated. Chris, $20. Super chat just
Yes.
because Pete whooped cancer's ass.
Yeah, let's go.
Shout out Peter McNabb
That's
in
our guy.
remission if
Yeah.
you haven't heard. It's the best news of the day.
By
Super
far the best
awesome.
development of today.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Super happy
And
for
what a
him.
professional, right? Like, keeps coming to the
Dude
thing that he
has
loves to do.
cancer, getting chemo, and he's still out here showing
Yeah.
up to hockey
Yeah.
games like a monster.
He loves the game.
Yep. $5 from Josh Bednar breaking out Mike's secret stuff in the first intermission. By far most exciting game I've been to. I will say, the vibes when you're at the arena for a comeback hockey game hit different.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, it's something special.
There were big Monstar vibes for the Jets tonight, where it was like All-Star Kyle Connor, right? Like, here come the Jets. And then the rest of the game happened, and it was like, right, those dudes could not dribble at the beginning of that movie.
I forgot.
Yep. Got it.
$5 from Harv. The comeback was great, but hearing Peter McNabb's cancer intermission better, he has
Yeah.
been an Av from the beginning. Absolutely. Yep. Hard agree on that one. I think everybody's happy for Pete. All right. $5 from Cheyenne, I think. Sorry
Yeah.
if I got your name wrong. I think at this point the Avs are bored because they know that they are the best in the league and that they are seeing what they can get away with. They like being choked.
Telling you,
They like it.
They just like being choked, guys.
It's and one hockey.
We
as
got
well.
we got this right weeks ago with the end. They like being choked theory. We were just right about
They
it.
like being choked. They like and one. Maybe a new theory. So most nights it's Dr. Dubs. But on nights like tonight, it's the professor.
The professor is in the house.
That's and one hockey right there. $5 from Tommy. So nice to notice Berkey out there looking like a mini Mac. I don't know if that's sustainable on the first line, though. Look, I think at the end of the day, you're always going to default back to three-headed monster.
You're also not going to look at Andrei Burakovsky's best games and be like, why isn't he like that every night? Because, come on.
You can't
in the same way that you look at his worst nights and you're like, that's not the measure of the player.
Yep.
It's all the other nights. It's everything else. It's everything in between those two. And we've seen, in my opinion, way more trending towards the good than the bad. And you knew a night like this was inevitable. Once you get to a certain point with a guy like that, you get like 12, 13 games, and you're like,
one's just going to go in at some point.
This is gonna like when this happens, they're gonna win whatever game it is, and it's gonna be a big goal.
Yep.
This was a big goal for him. It was the game winner. The same way that when Nazem Kadri broke his big goalless streak last year was the game tying goal in San Jose on a big comeback from them.
Yep.
I believe they came back from 3 as well that night. So you're talking about like this is how it happens with guys that score a lot of goals. When they weirdly go without him, it just pops up in a big way where it's like the dam breaks. And watch out for Andrei Burakovsky over the next 10 days. Yeah.
And
Going
coaches
a little hot, maybe.
Coaches love to be able to mix things up when they have to,
For
right?
sure.
Like players get bored, coaches get bored, but like a bigger thing about it is just prepping for the playoffs, seeing what you have. When you need a spark, if you can go in there and change the lineup to get that spark going, you have something to rely on now.
A great point. The Avs have the cushion to where they can play with things a little bit right now if they want to. They can try some stuff out. So $5 from Ryan.
It's like which of our guys on pace for a 30 goal season
right.
60 points do we want to put with other 60-point 30-goal guys?
$5 from Ryan. Love the DNVR crew. Best in the business. That's all. Carry on. Much love. Much appreciated. I do think we're the best poorly shot pod out there, to be fair.
We have different camera angles now, so we're not.
That's right.
Look at that. That's
you see how we're going different. You see how all these cameras here?
Me and Rudo. Come on, I haven't seen that one.
That one.
It's broke.
Poorly shot.
Oh,
Poorly shot. Confirmed.
We have a rep to protect, baby. Yes.
Who didn't charge the camera?
Yes.
The 6 hours of recording we did earlier probably broke it. Okay. Any final thoughts from either of you on a dope win?
Let's get the hell out of here. We gotta flip it back and do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
Against
that's true.
what is suddenly a very desperate Vegas team.
Yep.
Robin Leonard goes on the IR. Max Pacioretty did not finish tonight's game in Arizona. And so as much as it was like cute cap games with Mark Stone.
Now it's like, no, people are actually
like
hurt.
Robin Leonard,
Please help.
Alec Martinez, and now Max Pacioretty. You're like, oh, this is just the hockey god showing that ass.
Mark Stone, all of a sudden, his back's feeling better.
Yeah, you can't. LTIR.
Oh, that's right, he is.
You can't.
6 weeks, right?
It's 24 games
Or 10
24
games.
days and 10 games. You have to wait. You have to get through both bench
Got him.
marks.
Got him.
So there's
Forget
no
it.
emergency Mark Stone easy button.
Got him.
It's not puck don't lie. It's LTIR don't lie at this point for Vegas.
What was the meme? It was like the Franklin book. Like Franklin the turtle.
Yeah. Franklin learns how to
Yeah.
circumvent the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franklin just straight up went back into his shell and said, I'll see y'all. Just kidding. Too confusing.
Okay. Avs had a dope win. It was awesome. I got a bunch of water dumped on my head. Everybody wins.
I got
tonight.
water on my ass.
Blaze
I
got
didn't
some
ask for it.
flashback. Sometimes that's life. We love all of you. We hope you have a great night.
Sometimes that's life. You just get water on your ass that you don't ask for.
We will be back tomorrow with the full gambit, pregame, watch along, and postgame. We hope you'll tune in.
Different look tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Jesse and Megan will be around, so it's gonna be a different look.
We're gonna have a vibe.
Yeah, it's my last night at the bar for a while.
Yeah,
It's
you're gonna be out
weird.
for a minute. You're gonna be still on the show, but not from the bar.
Gotta take it all in before I get out of here and focus on what I gotta get done.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here because I really have to pee. So we love you all, and we will talk to you tomorrow.